Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. Today I want to share to you about Windows. I want to share to you about the advantage and risk of the Windows nowadays. Okay, nowadays we have the latest version of Windows, which is Windows 10. Okay, first of all I want to ask all of you, did you know about Windows? Right, I will share to you about a little bit about Windows. Okay, for your information, Microsoft Windows is a group of several graphical operating system families, all of which are developed, marketed, and sold by Microsoft. Each family caters to a certain sector of the computing industry. Active Windows families includes Windows NT and Windows Embedded. They may encompass subfamilies such as Windows Embedded Compact or Windows Server. Other than that, Windows family includes Windows 9S, Windows Mobile, and also Windows Phone. As of October 2018, the most recent version of Windows for PCs, tablets, smartphones, and embedded devices is Windows 10. The most recent version for server computer is Windows Server 2019. A specialist version of Windows runs on the Xbox One video games console. Other than that, the advantage of the Windows 10 is there are some of the best new features and functions Microsoft has added to it all encompassing operating system in Windows 10. One of them is Get Cortana. Cortana arrived on the desktop first. As on Windows phones, you can ask questions about the weather or famous pop stars, get direction home, set reminders, and more besides you. You can also get her to turn Windows settings such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on or off. Click the Cortana button on the start menu to get started, like hey Cortana for voice activation failure is for a voice activation failure. Other than that, the advantage of the Windows 10 is snap windows to corners. If you still straighten your windows snapping to either side of the screen, you living in the past. Windows is all about quadrant since July 29. Drag open windows into the corners of the screen to pin them to a particular quarter of the display, or use the Windows key plus cursor key keyboard shortcuts. You can of course still snap windows side by side as well. For the third advantage of the Windows 10 is analyze the storage space on your PC. In the pre-Windows 10 these days, you need to get a third-party application involved if you wanted to take a proper look at the layout of files and drive in your system. With Windows 10, there are tools built in, for example, type storage, into the taskbar, search box, choose the storage setting, and you can see exactly what type of the files, like music or videos, are taking up your hard drive space. Alright, for the next advantage of the Windows 10, it can add a new virtual desktops. At long last, virtual desktops make their ways to Windows, so all your power users can spread out your apps across multiple screens. The taskbar and the desktop shortcut remains consistent over all of them. Click the Task View button on the taskbar or press Windows key and tab to bring up an overview of your desktops, add new ones or remove existing ones. Okay, for the next advantage of Windows 10 that we can get is use fingerprint to unlock your PC. This is part of the Windows Hello biometric platform, and whether or not you can make use of it depends on the make and model of computer you're using Windows 10 on. As well as fingerprint sensing, it supports face recognition and even iris scanning. So if computer manufacturers are prepared to build this kind of kit into their system, then Microsoft new OS is able to support it. Okay. Manage your notification is also one of the advantages in the Windows 10. Windows 10 comes with a Revival Action Center that lies on the right hand side of the desktop and provides a stream of all the notification that comes in from any application. No more wondering exactly what Dropbox say while you were looking out of the windows. Click the notification icon, a speech bubble in the system, try to open and configure it. Switch to dedicated tablet mode also can in the Windows 10. Windows 8 try to squish a tablet mode and a desktop mode into one ungainly wall, but everything is far more civilized in the new Windows 10 interface. Open up the aforementioned Action Center to switch manually to tablet mode or get out of it again. In fact, you may prefer using the stripped down tablet mode even when you have a mouse and a keyboard attached. Alright, other than that, stream Xbox One games also one of the advantages in the Windows 10. Streaming games from one place to another isn't a completely original idea, but the link Microsoft has built between the Xbox One and Windows 10 machines could be the best use of the technology yet. If the kids wants to use the big screen in the living room, you can stream your Xbox One gaming up to your laptop or desktop upstairs if you have network can cope. Microsoft is also the advantage that have in the Windows 10. Microsoft new stripped down, streamlined browser in a Windows 10 exclusive, and you can run it on Windows 8 or below. Only Windows 10 users can take advantage of web page annotations, the clutter-free reading view, and Cortana search integration. Whether it's enough to ask from Chrome or Firefox as your browser of choice remains to be seen. Put recycle bin on the start menu also one of the advantages of the Windows 10. Perhaps not the most mind-blowing new feature unusual in Windows 10, but plenty of you are going to find it useful anyway. You can pin a recycle bin shortcut to the start menu for the very first time. Windows 8 doesn't even have a start menu or course. Of course, search for the recycle bin from the taskbar, right click on the link that appears and choose pin to start. You can do the same from File Explorer too. Okay, that's the several advantage that I will share to you. So other than advantage, the Windows 10 also have their own risk. So I also want to share with you the risk that can get when we use the Windows 10. Guys, sometimes the biggest security problems in Windows 10 are the ones admin forget about, including induced issues, poor desktop, security standards, and more. Like any operating system, the more widespread Windows 10 becomes, the more susceptible it is to attacks. Even so, Microsoft is trying to downplay Windows 10 security risks, going so far as to suggest that organizations can solve all their endpoint security problems with an upgrade to Windows 10. In fact, Windows 7 users can continue using that OS at their own risk because Windows 10 is much more resilient to attack according to Microsoft. It is true that the Windows 10 Anniversary Edition does a good job preventing zero-day attacks, but the operating system is still vulnerable in many ways. One of the security risks in Windows 10 is lack of encryptions. If organization doesn't enable BitLocker or other full disk encryption drive or partitions, then users' personally identifiable information is vulnerable to theft and loss, even though admin have known about the risk associated with data at rest for more than a decade. It is not uncommon to find an organization that still does not have full disk encryption on laptops and physical vulnerable desktops. Other than that, bad backups are also the risk for the Windows 10. User might have copies of critical files such as customer records, source codes, or company financial forecasts on Windows 10 laptops and desktop that they haven't backup. The only really good fix for this is for desktop admins to perform workstation backup. Is time and resource intensive to say the least. Even if admin turns to the cloud to simplify the backup process, they still have to worry about shadow IT and beyond, which can allow users to circumvent their backup controls. The other reason that Windows 10 have to overlook is users. If users share their drive on the network or click links and open email attachment, they should avoid there's going to be trouble. In fact, admins can fix all the other creative vulnerabilities and still have a ton of risk associated with email phishing alone, including target spear phishing. The list of these target attacks actually dwarf most other vulnerabilities. It is virtually impossible to completely prevent users from causing problems, but admins should at least educate their users on security best practice. Other than that is unpatched systems. Criminal hackers often focus their efforts on the third-party patch that admins have almost no chance of keeping up with. The patch come out at unpredictable intervals and there are just too many to keep track of. Admins can turn to patch management tools such as GFI LandGuard and regularly scan endpoint device for missing patch. Alright, that's all from me that I already shared to you about some of the advantage and some of the risks of the Windows 10. Okay, so you need to remember when you want to use the Windows 10, you have to know it have many advantage, but it also have risk that we have to overlook of it. So that's all from me. Thank you and thanks for of your time.